Okay, I am back. Anyway, have I tuned to this one yet? No, I have not. This is the Weaver's Guild. Yep, another crafting class. Now let me see. I'm attuned to the Weaver's Guild. Attuned to the Miners Guild. Attuned to the Goldsmiths Guild. Attuned to the Gladiators Guild. The only one left, to my knowledge, in this area is... well, at least this level of the area, anyway, is the Sapphire Avenue Exchange itself. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course, I am Serena. What can I do for you? Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee, what? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dan for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you can afford my services, but the fact that you offer nothing is laughable. Oh! Mistress Mamodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's market has ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to the city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided as he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer? A deadlier sword, perhaps? Or a shinier trinket? Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you'll find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. That is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Mamodi. Now off with you. People logging on now. And over here is... Wait. There it is. Yeah! Okay, that is not the last Aetherite in this area, though. So, I'm going to go and attune to that one before I go and speak to Mamodi. After that, I will go over to the other side of Ul'dah, and I will attune to all of the Aetherites there. Yep, they're going from the stone floor to the red carpet. Should be a good indicator of where we're going. This is the Hustings Strips, which leads... up here. And we can attune to this Ethernet shard, which is called the Chamber of Rule. Named so because just up those stairs right there, just up these stairs, this is where we go if we wish to speak with the Sultana. Now then, I have attuned to the Aetheryte in the Chamber of Rule. Now I must go to the other side of Ul'dah. I am in the Steps of Thal, so I need to go to the Steps of Nald. Yuyubaya. You'll find a lot of NPC Lalafels with names like that. I honestly didn't expect to have to break the introduction to this game that I was going to be putting on YouTube into 4 parts. Anyway, this is the Ethernet shard for the Thaumaturge's Guild. The Thaumaturge is, to put it bluntly, it's the Black Mage Guild. You start off as a Thaumaturge, and then as you progress in levels, completing the class quests that you end up getting every 5 levels along the way, you end up getting access to the more powerful class of Black Mage. A lot of the moves that you end up getting upon getting to Black Mage are the same as Thaumaturge, but there is a bit more to it than just simply a different class name. And here we have the Ethernet shard for the Adventurers Guild. Now, starting off the game. Oh, did I miss one? Thaumaturge's Guild, Main Aetheryte, Adventurers Guild. Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Weaver's Guild, Miners Guild, Goldsmith's Guild, Gladiator's Guild. Oh, yep, I did. I forgot the Alchemist's Guild. Anyway, as I was saying, there are a limited amount of classes that you can start the game with. Your options are, if I can sort them by city-state, for example. If you wish to start in Ul'dah, your class options are Gladiator, Pugilist, and Thaumaturge? I might be mistaken on that. In Gridania, you have the Lancer, the Archer, the Conjurer. I think there was one more. Nope, I don't want to go to the Sultana's place just yet. No. Archers Guild, Lancers Guild, Conjurers Guild. That's actually all I can remember off the top of my head for Gridania classes. In Limsa, Lominsa, your class options are Marauder, Arcanist, and Rogue. I've just attuned to all of the Ethernet charts in Ul'dah, and in doing so, the Gate of Nald, the Gate of Thal, the Gate of the Sultana, and the airship landing are accessible as Ethernet destinations. Okay, let's see if this can end up helping my case. So these... No, I did not want to do that. These are the classes that you can get in the game in general. However, some of them were introduced with expansions to the game. For example, the only tank classes that you could pick initially to start off with were Gladiator and Marauder. The only healer you could pick at the beginning, the only healer you could start with was Conjurer. I'll explain why Scholar. I'll explain where Scholar comes from later. Pugilist, Lancer, and Rogue were the only melee DPS classes that you could pick, and Archer was the only ranged DPS class you could pick. As for magical, you could pick Thaumaturge or Arcanist. Now, when Heavensward came out, they added 3 new classes. The Dark Knight, which is a tank, the Astrologian, or Astrologian, however you would like to pronounce it, the third healer, and the second of the 3 physical ranged DPS, the Machinist. Those you would need to purchase, those if you were going to get everything that the game had to offer, you would need to get A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers to get access to all of these classes. With Stormblood, the second expansion, there were 2 DPS classes that were introduced. Samurai and Red Mage. And with Shadowbringers, a new tank and a new physical ranged DPS were introduced. Gunbreaker and Dancer. Now, while you can get Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist at level 30, you cannot access the place where you get these classes until you have cleared the main scenario of A Realm Reborn. And when you get them, they start at level 30. When you hit level 50, however, you can get Samurai and Red Mage because those are the levels at which those 2 particular classes start at. And then when you hit level 60, if you wish to get Gunbreaker and Dancer, you can. There's also Blue Mage, which you could theoretically get at any point in the game, but it's not counted as an actual battle class per se, because Blue Mage can only level up to level 60, whereas every other class can level up to level 80. Anyway, I think I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I will access the Ethernet and go to the Gate of the Sultana. I discovered a new location. I got 60 experience points. is where my first gladiator quest will take me. So, as you saw when I fought that marmot, or mammoth, no, not mammoth, marmot, yep, star marmot. Anyway, this side of the little crossbars at the bottom of my screen ended up lighting up. And the ability Fast Blade was on a bit of a clock timer. That is a global cooldown, meaning you must wait until that circle completes before you can use that ability again. This is how most of your damage throughout the game will occur. Let's see, now I need huge hornets and snapping shrooms. I am not fighting that thing. That thing is way too powerful for me. See, that turtle right there is a level 12. I am a level 3. That thing would squash me! Okay, I found the marmots. What is that noise? I know you're there. Was it? Okay, that just doesn't pop out of nowhere. There had to have been a freaking... Oh, that's a flower. There had to have been a player doing that. I bet it was him. I go any lower, I'll probably wind up, running into some things that I will not be able to handle. Tanky, though my cat girl may be. Although she is still in her starting out adventurer's garments, so yeah. I might need to go to a different spot. That is some rad looking armor. Honestly, I like the character I spend most of my time on. I would actually love to be able to get that set for that character. Let's try the Gate of Nald. Oh look, 110 experience points. Yay, discovering new locations. Aha! This is where I should have gone. For there are huge hornets here. Yeah, that hornet is huge. Imagine if that was real life. You actually would need a sword to kill these things instead of a fly swatter. Come here. Now, this server also has a bit of an experience point bonus. Hence that star on the top of the screen. Sometimes the server will get an experience bonus, and as a result, although with this server I'm very surprised. Typically with an experience bonus, that server is flooded with new characters to the point where they couldn't even access it. A prime example being the server Famfrit. So many people wanted to go to that server for that experience boost, so that they could get through the story a bit quicker. Because sometimes, when you're playing through the story, you get to a point where you need to be a specific level to progress the story, and 9 times out of 10, just doing main scenario alone, you don't end up getting the necessary experience needed to be at that level. Oh, look at that. I'm level 4. And I have a combo now. Okay, now that I have done that, I feel like I am heading... Oh, no, I was heading toward my destination instead of away. Sprint, my cat lady, sprint! Probably should change the bottoms, though. Every single time she runs up a hill or goes upstairs, it's an unintentional panty shot. There we go. There are probably going to be some things that I will do to end up getting some experience points for experience for this character that I will not be showing, because it's just running through some of the things that I will have already shown you again, but with a massive experience bonus at the end of it. So I won't be showing that on screen. How was your tour of the city, Serena? Get lost, did you? Aye, well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, eh? Alright then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. Now, the prerequisite amount of experience points I needed to be able to get to this quest was I needed to be level 4. 1,820 experience points. That would level me to level 5, precisely. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke like you might fancy speaking. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name him Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the gate of Nald staring back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it before long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. And with that being said, I will go and turn in my gladiator's quest. Whee! Ah! I didn't clear the jump. Oh well. To the Gladiators Guild! Loading times, am I right? Ah, well, they happen in every game, so we get used to them after a while. I mean, I grew up playing Ocarina of Time, so if I wanted to, like, switch between Adult Link youngling, I had to play the Prelude of Light. Say yes. Watch the cutscene. Walk over to the Master Sword plot. Put the sword in it. Watch the cutscene. Play whatever song brings me closer to where I want to go. Say yes. Watch the cutscene and walk all the way to where I want to be. Welcome back, Serena. I take it you've dispatched the beasts with and with ease. Rest assured, there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present you with this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for a gladiator in training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice that you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then, Serena. Next Gladiator quest will be available from Mila upon reaching level 5. I did it! Alright, Mila, what you got? Ah, Serena. I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Yes, just by standing here. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator, commanding an opponent's attention. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. Sorry, it's a bit chilly here. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help you better understand this, there is a task I would have you perform. It just so happens that Mamadi of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Laminsan marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Lamentsans and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder!" In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah, as you would your allies in battle. So, as Mila had so eloquently put it, the gladiator, or the tank's job in general, is to get the enmity of every enemy, be it in the field, in a trial, or in a dungeon, and have them attack you. While that may not seem very productive, in dungeons the parties are made up of a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS. The tank, for anyone who hasn't played an MMORPG, their job is to endure the attacks of the enemies, while the DPS do their jobs, attacking the enemies and killing them. DPS do sufficiently more damage than tanks, but tanks can take more hits, as they have the vitality, the dexterity, the determination. They have all the necessary stats they need to be able to do that, and Gladiator is one such tank. You know your friend here is a 12's damn cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners. But he'll get his own back, mark my words. Bugger off! Cut his having a civilized conversation with this poxy Orson. What? You're blaming me because this little shite shat his own pants? Well, bugger him and bugger you too. Hardly a reason for you to try to pick on him. You ever think that maybe you're the reason he did that? Dumb marauder. That particular marauder in particular, I actually know a very good, very good tank who happens to be a marauder, which then turns into a warrior. You got lots of nerve thinking you can talk to me like that. Oi, come on now! You was disrespecting me proud sea-wolf heritage! Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished. Oh, there's a fourth. Hey! Hey! You! Quit mocking the woman! Just turn around and walk away, adventurer. Are you deaf? Get lost! Yeah, no. I won't. The hell is your problem? Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be here? What are you supposed to be here, bleeding lady in waiting? Bah, it don't matter. You've gone and spoiled the mood. Oh, if only I could talk to her after. See what she thought. Anyway. Look at me hopping table to table. Me poxy arse, this is your brew. I'd sooner drink a pint of my own piss than this will. Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmel the Driven. Me and me blame marauders have been reaving so long, mothers scare their children with tales about us. Don't believe me words? Then I'll let me axe do the talking! Oh, this is lively, even for the quicksand. You two are going to put on a show for us? What's this? Another goddamn fool? Show some respect when you talk to... Farmel the Driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. Aye, I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Then unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... That sword! You couldn't be... Frenzy? But only the sword of Nald, but... Bloody hells, it's you! You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Lamenson was quite brave of you, and quite foolish. I think I like you, gladiator. Name's Aldous. Yet I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent the last of my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you. Back then, Wrong game! Oddly enough, that fit, and I think I know a very particular YouTuber who, after playing a lot of Skyrim, would appreciate that reference that my older brother just freaking made. Anyway, back then but that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of the as-yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city. wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now, if you'll excuse me. I think it's safe to say I do not need my fan right now. Just a sec. Sorry about that. Anyway, so while I was in cutscene, I had gotten a free company petition signature request. Free companies are independent player-operated organizations, not unlike guilds. While there are no restrictions on who may join a company, players cannot belong to more than one free company at a time. Companies will advance in rank as their members earn company points by undertaking various duties around Eorzea. These tasks will also earn companies credits, which can be used as currency to purchase various items. You have been asked to sign a free company petition. To form a new free company, a player must first obtain the signatures of 3 other people who agree to become the founding members of the company. If you wish to join, sign the petition. Honestly, if I were to join a free company, there's only one free company I really had in mind, but I don't think they're recruiting right now. So personally, I don't mind, at least with this character, being a free adventurer. I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Serena, do me a favor and don't tell Mila about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Okay. Hey. Hey. That will never not sound eerie to me. Just running through Ul'dah, and then the theme song of Realm Reborn Answers just starts playing. But it's like, it's haunting. Almost as if... So, back in 1.0. I didn't personally play 1.0 of this game. But there are some people that I know of who did. And what had happened was 1.0 was so full of bugs and glitches. I'll continue that story later. I've already heard of your exploits at the quicksands, Serena. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we'd heard the last of them. Alas, we received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling through Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Serena. Head to Western Thanalan and see that Farmer the Driven and all those who have shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Anyway, so back in 1.0 there was so much wrong with the game that the initial directors were replaced with the current director, Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshi P, as people call him. Now, he tried to fix 1.0. And for a while he succeeded. He succeeded in patching a bunch of things that were wrong with the game, but he couldn't entirely save it. So what he did was he had scheduled a world-ending calamity that would essentially mark the shutdown of the 1.0 servers. And while that happened, so the world-ending event was being a member of the Gallian Empire had the... Trying to see if I remember this right, sorry. Don't want to give you guys false information. This member of the Gallian Empire, Nail Van Darnus, wanted nothing more than to see his media project to fruition. Which basically means the lesser moon Dalamud was falling to Eorzea. Now, by this time, Nail Van Darnus had already been dealt with. But even though Nail Van Darnus was dead, yeah, level 6. It didn't stop Dalamud from falling. But what was a complete and total shock to everyone was that the lesser moon Dalamud was not a moon. It had housed the elder primal Bahamut, who broke free and started unleashing chaos upon the realm. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I owned. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Oh, don't worry, I will. Now, this game has open world events called Fates. If you complete them, you will get some gil for it, you will get some experience, and if you belong to a grand company, oh hell, a brass blade, then you get some seals for that company. There you are. Hiya! Believe it or not, when I first started this game, I honestly thought it was like Final Fantasy XII, where I just had to sit and wait and watch the fight take place until the fight was done. Sorry, these monsters with that little bean looking mark above them, they're from my hunting log. If you complete entries in the hunting log, you get experience. Which is a pretty good incentive to complete your hunting log, actually. So, point being, that while people were waiting for Dalamud to fall, they heard the theme song, which is Answers, if you wanted to hear it, played so eerily. It was almost haunting. Here you go. Well, bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good women like you, I'd never leave home. I haven't even completed this first. Like, I haven't even done this quest for the main scenario, and I'm already level 6. Because I've been doing my hunting log. I have the Aetheryte earrings equipped, and there's an experience bonus on the Sarkatana server. Okay, I am at the steps of Nald. So, essentially, everybody who had played 1.0 had gathered on the highest, like, on one of the highest points in the game that they could get to. They were watching Dalamud in the sky as it very, very slowly descended until the cutscene that marked the shutdown of the 1.0 servers occurred. And all the while they were watching, this is what they heard. This is exactly what they heard. Imagine hearing this while watching something fall, knowing that when it does, everything is going to be destroyed. And there is nothing you can do about it. You have to admit, this is haunting. In a situation like that, it is haunting. Anyway, I must now go to the Gladiators Guild to complete my level 5 Gladiators quest. Good, it is finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you will face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be more work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Serena. We will speak again. And with that, I'm level 7. Now, you'll have class quests every 5 levels. And they won't continue until you end up going to your other class or job for the class that you picked. For example, at level 30, Gladiator becomes a paladin. I am in the wrong of Thanalan. Now then, I might as well tune to the Aetheryte while I'm out here. I honestly forgot what it was like not being able to use a mount to get around everywhere. Like, I'm not in imminent danger of being here. That would be an imminent danger if I went after that. Because everything around here is like level 10. But so long as I don't, like, disturb them, I should be fine. Because a lot of them have that blue icon next to their name, which means they're docile unless attacked. And then there are enemies with that red and yellow triangle icon, which means that they're hostile to any and everybody. Here we are, the Aetheryte for Western Thanalan. And I have learned Teleport. Alrighty. I needed to be in Central Thanalan and I went to Western. Trust me, when you have a mount, movement in this game is a lot quicker. I think if after I cross this bridge, if I take that path right there, I should get to Central Thanalan where I need to be. So the names they give these Lalafels. Yeah, see? Level 7. I'm level 7. So, not any imminent danger. Plus these things are docile unless I attack them. And I'm not going to attack them because I'm not going to attack anything that's docile. Unless it's from my hunting log. Then I will attack it. But only as many as I need. docile, I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. Well, I need to go to the Uldan dispatch yard. It wouldn't hurt to head to Blackbrush Station and get something to eat right there. Oh, hey, my friend is logged on. And it's her day off. Okay, there's that ether attitude too. Now to go to my quest marker. Oh, look, Anthony worker. I need that for my hunting log. I'm sorry. Oh, right. I have a better sword. Although, what helmet might not quite need? I might be wrong, but I think that Gladiator and Paladin are the only job/class where I would actually need an offhand to actually do my job effectively. Because Marauders and Warriors wield axes. Dark Knights wield large swords. And Gunbreakers wield gunblades. Conjurers, they do have one-handed wands. And they can use, like, a wooden buckler if needed. But that's not very advisable for that particular class. They usually thrive with two-handed canes. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Mamodi advised me to expect? I am Papa Shad, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell, passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both in the past 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now, true Uldans work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Uldar to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. The railways, which run through this dispatch yard, too were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain. And there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Uldar needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point. I do believe I may have some work suited for one of your ability. I will be getting the altered thigh boots.